Good morning, Flagstaff in Northern Arizona. Welcome to another edition of Fifth Quarter Airs, Fifth Quarter AZ. I'm your stuttering host, Russell Woods, Coconino's class of 1987, and known around town as Mr. Flag Coco. And with us today is a friend of the show. She was on as a guest a couple of weeks ago, talking about Coconino football and cheer, and now she's a host. Please welcome on our show, Michele Benedict.
Thank you, Russell. I'm happy to be here. Thanks for having me.
I'm glad to have you. It used to be just Danny and Tyrone doing the show, and it was great. But now we're expanding. We're getting more faces, more voices, more knowledge. It's slow expansion, slowly making this a bigger thing.
Well, and it's good to have a female in that
Yes,
in that mix. Come on,
yes. You can
girls
only
know
do so. You can only do so much with all the dumb boys, huh?
stuff.
I saw that you were updating the website for the Coconino Gridiron Club.
Yes, CoconinoPantherFootball.com is the official website for the football team, and I run that. As soon as we have our 23-24 pictures, those will go up, our senior pictures, pictures of the coaches. But currently, we have our coach bios that I've added. Get to know the coaches a little bit, what they're doing, where they're from, what kind of experience they have. I think that's important for the community and the kids to know.
And I've also seen a couple things out already for Coconino Cheer.
Yes, our cheer. We have two tryouts. One we had in May for all of the current athletes at Coconino, and
Hmm.
those folks are getting ready to go to camp, summer camp, the last weekend of June, and then we'll have open gym Tuesdays and Thursdays in July for any new people who want to try out again at the end of July to join the program. So we are not taking the summer off. We are working hard, um, working on stunting, a lot of stretching, those kinds of things, getting ready for the season.
Yeah, cheer and football are now year-round sports. Um, Summer passing season, 7-on-7 is in full swing. Uh, I know we're excited. We got a new coach, Gary Cook, and we're going to try to get Adam Callado, who does Project Mayhem, the Coconino Passing 7-on-7 League, try to get him on the show as well. So even after graduation, it sounds like things are still buzzing at Coconino.
I think it feels quite similar to pre-COVID times. So things feel like they're clicking along. People are involved. You see a lot of students at the school, not just football and cheer, but the basketball's happening, the baseball's happening. Um, Volleyball, I think, has even been there. So lots of activity at Coconino.
That's good to hear. I remember from my experiences way back in the Stone Ages when when school ended, it just ended. You didn't start summer practice until 2 weeks before classes started, and then about 2 weeks after that was your first game. No, it's a completely different animal now.
I think a lot of it just helps the kids with their socialization, and
Mm.
they just like to be around each other, and it's a safe space for them to come and hang out and work on their sport. So I think there's a lot of benefit from doing some summer practices.
Well, this is a first for the show. We're making history because today is the first day where we've got all Coconino. Um, of course, Danny and Tyrone coached, and we're grads at Flag High. We had Tommy Hernandez as our guest, as our co-host last week. He's a Flag High guy. But I'm from Coconino Class 87. You work at Coconino. And would you like to introduce this week's guest?
I would love to introduce this week's guest. We have Zach Bennett on the program today. He's class of 21. He played youth sports here in town and had, actually, I think he was the leading rusher for Coconino, over 4,000 yards in his career. And now
4,169.
there you go. And now he is playing college ball. So welcome to Zach Bennett.
Yeah, good morning, guys. Thank you for having me on the show today. It's a privilege. Thank you.
Excellent, excellent. I've pay attention to everybody on Facebook and Twitter, and these days you're hitting the weights.
Yeah, absolutely. I've been in there every day with the program during our spring ball and last fall, and then this summer just been in there every single day, Monday through Saturday, lifting, and Sunday's my rest day. But currently I'm on vacation right now, so I've had a little bit of downtime. It's nice. Once I get back though, starting July 17th, we all start back up again for our summer camp, and then early August we come in for our fall camp. So exciting.
Uh, how did you get from just a little about your path from when you graduated from Coconino in 2021 to where you are today at Friends University? How did you go from that to there in 2 years?
So I originally, coming out of high school, I committed to Southwestern College in Winfield, Kansas. It's a little town, it's maybe like 1,000 people down in the southern part of Kansas. I attended there for one semester, just my first semester, my freshman year. I ended up redshirting there. It was a very upper class based program, a lot of seniors, a lot of juniors. So all the freshman running backs that came in ended up redshirting. That's not really the reason why I decided to transfer, though. It's just I felt that it wasn't the best fit for me, best lifestyle down there for me. So I made the decision to reach out to other programs, and I decided to go to Friends University, which was in Wichita, Kansas. Just it's like 50 minutes or so, maybe an hour north of Southwestern. It's in the same conference. It's in the KCAC athletic conference. So another thing that brought my attention to Friends University is that they actually run a flexbone type of offense. So it's very similar to what I actually ran with Coach Lapsley at Coconino my sophomore and junior year. Um, I came into Friends being recruited as a fullback, which is kind of different for me because at Coconino I was a wing back, slot back. But I was weighing about 200, and then I would say last summer, I came and just got to the grind, and I wanted to get back to my wing position. So I ended up cutting about 20 pounds. So I'm about 180 right now, and I'm back at a back now. I'm playing left slot, so that's how I ended up going from Southwestern to Friends University.
Now, Friends University is a 4-year college, right?
It is, yes. It's an NAIA college. It's 4 years.
Okay. And what are you going to major in? Because it's not all about football.
No, well, kinda. I mean, so I'm majoring in physical education and minoring in coaching, and I plan on hopefully getting my master's since I still have 4 years of eligibility. I sat down with my coaches and we talked about how I still have 4 years. So if I want to get my master's after my 4 years is up, then they'll welcome me back to the program, so that way I can play another year, but also go further in my education.
Yeah, I mean, the whole reason to go to college is for the education and the sport.
Absolutely.
We want to make
Absolutely.
sure that we get that education in. So
Absolutely.
I have a question. What would you recommend any current high school juniors and seniors be focusing on if they want to further their education and their playing experiences? What do they need to be doing specifically their junior year and senior year to prepare or get noticed?
The biggest thing is grades. You want to have the highest GPA you can possibly have coming out of high school. That's a big thing for coaches. A lot of people put it off, and especially like if you want to go to NCAA Division One, NCAA Division Two, you got to have good grades. It's a little bit easier to get into NAIs, it's a little bit easier to get into like a JC school. But if you want to go to a bigger level, you have to have good grades. And then athletically, just hit the weights as much as you possibly can because everyone at the next level is way stronger than you are. Even if you think you're strong, you're not strong. Trust me. They're way stronger. They're way faster. The game is twice as fast as it is in high school. So just work hard in the weight room, work hard on the field, do as much speed and agility as you can, and make connections. Connections is a big thing. Also, if you don't have connections, it's a little bit harder to get recruited. So go to camps, meet coaches from as many coaches around the country as you can. The more connections you're going to have, the better opportunity you're going to have to make to bring in offers for sure.
Yeah, I was about to ask you about the recruiting process because you went through the whole thing starting from probably your junior year. Um, and I see a lot of players putting their videos on Huddle and NCSA, but there's more to it than just posting a video and hoping a scout sees it, right?
There's a lot. There's a lot that goes into recruiting, and I've had a lot of I don't know what the word for it is, but a lot of experience, I guess you can say, with that. Um, really a lot of colleges are going to look for prototypical size athletes. Um, that's just that's one factor. So your upper levels are going to look for your prototypical size, and if you're not, then unfortunately you're probably going to go to a lower level unless you're extremely talented with a really good skill base and you have connections. Also, location is another thing. That it's not a deal breaker, but it's a little bit of a thing. So if you're coming out of a bigger city or a smaller city, you may or may not get looks. That's one thing. So yeah, that's what I think about that. For me, I really started trying to get recruited my sophomore year, and I went to a bunch of camps. I met coaches, um, and I don't know. I couldn't find what it was to pull those bigger offers. I don't know. Maybe it's because I'm short. I'm only 5'8", or maybe it's because I came from a smaller town. I don't know. But that's uh, that's why in my opinion, that's why I'm at a smaller school. Is because you have those factors and like you have to sit down and look yourself in the mirror and be like, realistically, this is why. And in my opinion, that's why. So it's a hard life coming out of like um high school and thinking, I can go play D1, but then having to sit down and realize, there's a lot that goes into a D1 athlete versus, a an NAI athlete. A lot of people will like say that a D1 athlete is a lot more skilled than an NAI athlete or a D2 or a D3 athlete. And sometimes yes, but sometimes no. It's just you didn't get lucky from your location. You didn't get lucky from your build. You're 6 foot or around there. So it's a lot that goes into the recruiting process for sure. And
Well,
the NCAA or it was like the NCSA thing. Is that what it was that you said?
Well, I said Huddle and NCSA, yeah.
I had NCSA, and don't waste your money on it. It does nothing for you.
See
Get
that's the
out.
thing. It's sort of like when
Yeah,
you
doesn't do
publish
anything
your
for you.
resume online.
Yeah,
You just put it on there and you hope the right person sees it. But you
that's
got
what
to
it
be
is. Yeah.
more proactive than that.
What you need to do is I used Twitter when I was in high school. That's actually how I pulled most of my offers. Was I got onto Twitter, and I emailed and I texted as many coaches as possible. I personally sent my film to them through Huddle, sent them links, introduced myself, tell them a little bit about myself, tell them my academics, tell them the stats, um, and then hopefully they get back to you. Another thing is at the football camp, sometimes you can make a connection out of camp. If a coach sees you, sees the skill set that he likes, he'll talk to you. But I pulled most of my offers. I had like 20 something smaller school offers, but I got most of my offers off of Twitter. That was my main recruiting source.
that's what I had heard is Twitter is the best recruiting tool for high school where
Yeah,
you can you follow all sorts of coaches. If they follow you back, make sure that you're posting your stuff, that you've got your GPA up there, making
Yes.
sure your contact information is correct. Um, but you have to do the work. It's not like people are
We
just
do.
going to say,
No.
"Oh, look at that
Yeah.
person. They're great." No, you have
Nope.
to put yourself and sell yourself.
Out there. Yeah. You have to. That's what I'm saying. You have to really hit up as many coaches as possible because there's no guarantee that they're gonna get back to you. There's a lot of time. There's no guarantee they're even gonna open your film. So make sure when you're texting that coach that you're doing it in a business form so that we can grab their attention because there's no guarantee that they're even gonna open up your film and look at your film.
So we need to make sure that we have proper grammar and we say
Everything.
complete
Yes.
sentences and
Absolutely.
being professional. Okay.
Yeah. It's professional. 100%.
Good good tips for all the athletes that might be watching, regardless of their sport. Um,
Absolutely.
it sounds like you've had some challenges acclimating to out of high school into college, but you found a spot, and it sounds like you are working really hard. You're in the weight room. Um, you were ineligible last year, so you haven't
I was, yes, unfortunately,
played
because
yet.
I transferred in conference, and when you transfer in conference through the KCAC conference, they make you sit out a year. Unfortunately, I don't know why it's like that, but that's how it is. So
So you are ready. You are 110%
yes,
ready for fall
I'm
ball.
100%. Yep, mentally, physically, everything. I'm ready to roll. I'm
Okay,
eligible. My grades are up, so I'm excited. Excited to play again.
wonderful.
Yeah, it's been
Make
a long 2 years, but I'm excited.
Well, that makes you who you are. So
Yeah,
we're just going to take that and run with it. Make sure that you're posting some films so we can tout you on the Coconino Facebook page and say, "Look at our alum! Look how wonderful he is."
absolutely. Yeah, I definitely will be posting film of I'll post links if anyone wants to watch our game. All of our games are live streamed. I'll probably send out the schedule when that drops here soon. So yeah, just look out for that stuff.
That
Oh
would
yeah.
that I would love to see that. That would be so much fun to watch you. I remember watching you live and back to the high school thing where you ran over 4,100 yards. Was there ever a game that you wished you had done something differently?
Um, Probably every time we played Cactus.
Yeah.
Cactus has has my class's numbers from my junior year or my sophomore year to my senior year. We That was our toughest opponent was Cactus. So if I could go back, I would do something. I don't know, game plan better, scheme things up better, maybe
Yeah.
approach it in a different way to see if we could, beat those guys. That's
Yeah,
about it, though.
that loss your senior year in playoffs was hard. I know.
It was. Yeah, it was. But I mean, everything happens for a reason. So what's meant to be, will happen.
Now, did you play any other sports in high school?
I ran track my freshman year, and wasn't for me. I didn't really like it, which is kind of interesting because I mean, I'm a running back, but it wasn't for me. I played basketball my freshman and sophomore year, and it was good. I was more of just like you know, out there taking space up, getting rebounds and stuff like that. I didn't never had the best shot or best handles, but it was fun. I definitely think it helped keep me in shape out of season. But my junior and senior year, I just focused on football and yeah, I just stayed in the weight room with Coach Lapsley and Mrs. Creasel, and then when Sweats came in, yeah, just I think I just felt more in love with the game than anything else after my sophomore year. So yeah,
Your senior year, what was the year that COVID kind of wrecked everything?
yes, yeah.
I read about all the protocols and the stages and the way you had to practice, but how does it affect you personally as far as, between doing your classes online and wearing masks everywhere and it was a completely different situation as opposed to everything that came before and everything that came after that for you, wasn't it?
Yeah, it was extremely different. Classes online wasn't too bad though. That wasn't too bad. I mean, really the worst part about it is you just don't get the social life that you get being inside the school. But the work wasn't that bad. I mean, it was good teachers and they set up everything really good, I think. But it was very unfortunate. It ended up being my senior year, and it was even a little bit of the end of my junior year, if I remember right.
Yeah, it was starting to unfold in
Yeah,
February and March of 2020, and then that whole next year, which was your senior year, everything was messed around.
messed around. Yeah, the mask. It wasn't too bad, I guess. But I don't know. The worst thing for me, in my opinion, about the whole COVID thing was like no one could come watch our games, and I always like that's a very special thing in high school.
Yeah,
Friday night, coming
we
out there,
all
having a full crowd and everyone, and going out there and only having I think it was like maybe 100 people or just our parents or something like that. It was just our parents, I think. That was pretty tough, but
Yeah,
it is what it is.
it was parents only for that game, but I remember looking, um, on the other side of the fence that looks down on the field, and we
Yes,
all all the students were on the other side of the fence. So they
you're
might not
right.
have been in the stands, but they were cheering for you from the outside the fence.
Yeah, I remember looking up on the hill, and there was a bunch of them up on the hill, so it was pretty cool.
Yeah, you said one of the things that appealed to you to Friends University is that they were running a similar offense that you were running under Coach Lapsley. How what was it about that offense, the double wing? Dave Zornick calls it the Cocoa Bunch.
The Cocoa
What?
Bunch, yeah.
Yeah, what was it about that offense that made you excel?
Um, I don't know. I think that it's just a diverse offense, and it's even more diverse now at the college level. I thought that it was kind of a tricky offense in high school, but it's there's way more to it. There's actually we can run one play like 15 different ways with 15 different tags, so it's very diverse. For me, I don't know. I like being in the slot position and coming around the end. It's fun for me. I mean, I don't mind being in a single setback, but I don't know. I just think this offense is really fun, and a lot of people get it to touch the ball a lot. So, and it's a running dominant offense. I mean, we pass a lot more at the college level out of it than I ever did at Coconino. We didn't really pass that much out of it at Coconino, but it's a really fun offense in my opinion. So.
If there were if there was one thing that you would leave, any current Coconino athlete to know, what would that one thing be while you're still playing? Remember everything, take it in. What's your advice to current students?
Yes, definitely embrace everything that's happening, because high school is a special time, in my opinion. It only happens once. Enjoy it, and then just depending on if you're wanting to go to the next level, and work hard. Don't stop working hard, and set goals and achieve those goals. Just keep working. That's the biggest thing I can say is don't get lazy. You can't get lazy if you want to, go on to bigger, better things, or the next level. Just 100% stay in the weight room. Um, Stay mentally strong as well. Keep your grades up. It's all very, very important things.
There's a couple, just two more questions that I got for you that I just have to ask you about. I just got to talk. Part of the magic of watching you run is that on the other side of town, Luis Jaramillo was having just as much success at Fleck High, and it was great to
Yeah.
watch that rivalry between the two of you.
Oh yeah.
And I know you were friends growing up, and you played Jack's youth football together, where you
Yep.
were the tailback and he was the fullback. Uh, how, how did that feel for you, having your buddy on the other side of town, having that kind of success? Because you would have like a 6 touchdown game against Cortez, and you'd set records, And then the next week, he rushed for 329 yards against Lee Williams, and he set
Fine.
records. It was just a
Yeah.
great time for watching both
Awesome.
teams.
Oh
So,
yeah,
how did you get along with Luis during that whole rivalry?
Me and Luis stayed pretty tight. Um, Everything that he did, he deserved. I remember, yeah, like you said, we played Jacks football together in the youth leagues, and I always tried to get him to come to my school, and he always tried to get me to go to his school, but we ended up not going to the same school, which I mean I think kind of worked out because we were able to create our own legacy at two different schools, and but yeah, everything he did, he deserves, and I was just very proud of the stuff that he was able to do. It was never really of like a I'm out trying to do him and he's out trying to do me. It was more so just trying to outdo ourselves, get better each and every week.
Mm-hmm. Now, I knew you were going to Coconino because your brother went to Coconino, and he was a
Yeah,
good running back as well.
yeah.
Um, how's he doing? And more important, how are your folks doing? I know that your mom and dad were very supportive of you, and they were always at games, and they were always boisterous and always outgoing. But I haven't heard much about them since you graduated and moved on. How have they been?
Yeah, my family's doing good. Chris is still back in Flagstaff. He's a roofer there, so he's doing really good. He's got three little ones, so
Mm-hmm.
I love my nieces and nephews very much. My mom and dad and my older sister, one of my older sisters, my oldest sister, she lives in Vegas right now, and then my second oldest sister and my youngest brother, they all live back in Kansas. Xavier, which is my youngest brother, he's getting ready to go into high school. He's going to be a freshman next year, so that's pretty exciting. Hopefully, he can make some magic happen on the football field. And my mom and pops, they're doing good as well. They're like in the Midwest life. It's a little bit slower of a lifestyle. Everyone's really nice back there, so it was a good change for everyone.
Is your brother a running back too, or is he on the line?
Right now, he's more of a defensive player, so he's playing a little bit of DN, outside linebacker. So a little bit different. He's more of a bigger, bulkier guy than I ever was. I mean, I'm still stronger than him and always will be, but
Sibling
yeah,
rivalry.
yeah, absolutely. But yeah, he's gonna do great things. I'm super excited for him.
That sounds wonderful.
Yeah. Yeah.
Well, we're starting to wind down today's show. This is where Danny Neal sits back, puts his arms up, and goes da 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 da, and then passes off the golden nugget question to either Tyrone or me. Um, I know Michelle's already asked you several really good golden nugget questions, but you got anything else for Zach today?
I don't know. This is my first interview, so I'm a little I'm
They
just
always put me on the spot, so it's just the way of this wicked world. They put me on the spot. Now I got to put you on the spot.
okay on the spot. Zach, will you ever be coming back to Flagstaff?
Um,
Once
right
you get
now,
that
I really,
master's
right
and come
now,
back,
I really don't know, but I think it would definitely be cool to someday eventually work my way back there and maybe coach a little bit at my old school. So that would be really cool.
we would,
So we'll
we,
see. We'll see what happens.
yeah, we would love to see you on the sidelines as a coach with those headphones on, calling out plays.
Absolutely.
That would be a full circle moment for sure.
Absolutely. Yeah, that'd be really cool.
We will definitely keep tabs on you. I follow you on Twitter and Facebook, and you said your games at Friends University are going to be streamed this year. So hopefully we get a good Flagstaff crowd watching you on that.
That'd be
Um,
awesome.
that would be awesome. We don't get to watch a whole lot of players play at the next level because red shirting and
Yeah,
injuries and grades. They kind of stop. So knowing that you're set up and you've been working out, you're in shape, and you're excited, excites the rest of us because now we get to watch you finally do it on the next level.
Yes, yes, absolutely. That's another thing that's just like another thing that like motivated me to really. So coming out of Southwestern, I was a little bit, I don't know, I wouldn't say like depressed, but more so down on myself because I expected to come out of Coconino more so, get into college and be able to play right away. That was my mindset. So I was a little bit down on myself, ended up redshirting, went to Friends, and oh, I'm not eligible. I can't play. So it really took a toll on my mind, and it's been a grind, but I've stayed resilient with it, and I honestly think it's just been more. It's kept me more motivated to go out there and prove it to myself, really, that I can compete at the next level like I always believed I was going to be able to do when I got older. So I'm ready to go out there and just prove myself, that I can do it. So I'm
Yeah,
excited.
that it seems like that's the wall a lot of our athletes get. Uh, they've been recruited, and maybe they were promised something that didn't pan out, and for whatever reason, this seems to be about the point where they move on. Work
Yeah.
at college or go into the workforce, but you've stuck this out. So bravo
Well,
to you for sticking to this. I know you've I mentioned your family, you get a lot of support from them, but I hope you know that your hometown is rooting for you. We've always have been.
thank you. I appreciate that. Definitely, definitely appreciate that, guys.
Yep.
And
We're still all your biggest fans.
Thank you, guys.
exactly.
Appreciate
Bleed,
that.
bleed black, Panther pride.
Always, always, always.
Well, thanks for joining us today, Zach.
Yeah, thank you guys
It's
for having me.
great
Appreciate it.
seeing your face and hearing what you're up to and knowing that we're going to see you on the field in the fall.
Oh
Mhm.
yeah, absolutely. Look forward to it.
Okay, well, Michele, it was excellent having you on. I know you were nervous doing this first time, but you took over. Yeah, no, honestly, I just I know you know Zach, and so there was a comfort level to that, and you watched him play, and he's one of those new legends. I mean, on Flag Coco, we talk about all 100 years of history, so we go all the way back to the 1920s, but there's this new generation of really talented athletes we've got. We talk about Graceland Nez over at Fleck High and the Hall sisters in cross country.
Mhm.
Zach's part of that. You know, you know
A
when
hundred percent. He's he's a
when we talk
legend in
about
the halls.
all the records he's broken, he's broken records from. We've had Willard Reeves on the show. He's the only Panther to ever play in the NFL. Um, Ray Smith, he led Coconino to championships in the 1970s. He's broken all those records. So uh, when we were watching him on the field for 3 years, we were watching something special.
We 100% were watching something special. And what makes it even better is Zach's a good kid. So that makes that's a whole package.
Well, like I was saying, the fact that he's faced the adversity that a lot of kids do when they get to college, and they see that it's a different world and different hoops to jump through. A lot of them don't make it, but Zach has persevered, and he's doing all the hard work, and he's paying his dues, and hopefully this year this is when it all pays off.
It's going to be a great season for him.
It's been a play. I hope to do this with you again soon.
It was
I,
so
I,
much fun.
I know where we're, Danny and Tyrone are busy, and I fill in, and I hope you fill in more often, and you know, the show grows itself, and hopefully the audience grows around with it.
When you ask me, I will be here.
Okay, and then I hope for everyone out there, I gotta give one quick shout out. I got I gotta say hi to my nephew, Braden Denton. Watches this show from Nebraska. I know that Zach is out in Kansas. I mean he's doing other summer things, but he's out in Kansas. But we start getting people from around, people that like the coaches, like you, like me, like the things we're trying to do. Um, will grow. I mean, as long as you know, viewers,